In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your first Google Ads search campaign step by step in a way that actually makes sense for beginners. If you want to start getting leads or sales from Google Ads, but you have no idea how to structure your campaign, what settings matter, or how to avoid wasting money on the wrong traffic, then this video is for you. We're going to build everything together step by step, starting with setting up the campaign and targeting, to adding keywords and ads, and making sure conversion tracking is working. So when you launch your campaign, you know exactly what to do and you're set up to start seeing real results. By the end of this tutorial, you'll launch your first Google Ads campaign with confidence. It'll be built to start generating leads or sales, and you'll know exactly what to do next to keep improving it. The first thing you'll need to do is check the link in the video description to find the Google Ads homepage. You can also just go to ads.google.com. That's going to bring you to this page right here. But before we start creating our Google Ads account, let's quickly understand what Google Ads actually is. I'm going to go ahead and create a new tab here, and then I'll search for something like website developer. And when I search for this, you're going to see two different types of search results. At the top here, these are sponsored results. These results are going to show up first, and they're created with Google Ads. Now, if I scroll down a little bit on the page, below those sponsored results, you're going to find organic search results. These are usually from companies that have invested heavily in SEO, so they can rank high without relying on ads. So Google Ads is basically how you get your business to show up in these sponsored spots when someone searches for what you offer. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up the right way so you're showing up for the right searches and you're not just throwing money at ads and getting no conversions. Okay, with that said, let's move into creating your Google Ads account. And if you already have a Google Ads account created, you can use the timestamps in the video description to jump ahead to the next chapter. So on this page here, let's click on Start Now. And then you want to sign in with your Google account. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Google account here, and I'll meet you at the next step. And once you sign into your Google account, you should be brought to a page like this. Go ahead and click on Create Your First Campaign. First, Google is going to ask you for your business name. I'll go ahead and fill mine out here. I'll use an example like Caleb's Cleaning Company. Then it's going to ask where people should go after clicking your ad. Most of the time you'll use a website, but if your main goal is phone calls, then you can use your business phone number. And if you're advertising an app, you can use the app download page. Just choose what matches your goal. I'll enter my web page URL here. Then I'm going to go down and click on Next. And after that, it's going to bring you into this page here, where it's going to prompt you to create your first campaign. We're actually going to exit this onboarding flow early though, by scrolling down to the bottom and clicking on Set Up an Account Only. Let's go ahead and click on this here. Start by confirming your billing country, time zone, and your currency. With that done, click on Continue. Then you need to confirm your account and payment settings. You'll also see something here for an introductory offer. If you click into this, you'll see stuff like spend $500 and get $500 in ad credits, then spend $1,500 and get $1,000, and spend $3,000 and get $1,500. So if you want to use one of these introductory offers, definitely go for it. I'll click on the first one here. Then I'm going to scroll down here, and then we'll need to create a payments profile. So click on this. For your profile type, you'll need to choose if you're part of an organization or if you're an individual. I'm going to click on individual. Then I'm going to enter my name here and my zip code as well. Once you do that, click on Create. Then you need to add a payment method. Click on Add Payment Method. You can choose whether you want to use a credit or debit card or a bank account. Go ahead and choose which payment method works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and fill this out, and I'll meet you at the next step. Okay, I've gone ahead and filled out that payment method. You'll see this notice here that says you may see a temporary $50 authorization on your card, and that's usually removed within a week. That's done just to make sure that your payment method is valid. So once you've done that, let's scroll down a little bit here. This asks us if we want personalized guidance from a Google Ads account strategist. I'm just going to say no to this. Then I'll go down and click on Submit. Awesome, so we've just created our Google Ads account. Next, let's scroll down and click on Continue. Now you need to choose if you're part of an advertising agency. If you are, click on Yes, but in most cases you'll select No. Then I'm going to scroll down. Then you need to choose if you're going to be paying for your Google Ads directly or if an agency pays and invoices you. For most people, you'll click on yes, we pay Google Ads directly. Then we'll go down and click on save and continue. And with that done, you'll be brought into your Google Ads dashboard. All right, so before we click on anything here, I want to show you a simple model for understanding how Google Ads is structured. At the top, you have a campaign. Inside the campaign, you have ad groups, and each ad group is focused on one theme, like one service or one category. Then inside each ad group, you have two things, the keywords you want to show up for and the ads people actually see. So we're going to build this in that exact order. We'll do the campaign first, then the ad groups, then the keywords and ads. And as we go, I'll point out the best practices that actually matter so your campaign stays clean and you understand what's driving your results. Okay, now let's go ahead and create our first campaign. Right here, let's click on New Campaign. And we've seen this screen right here before. This is where you can enter your business name and your website. I'll go ahead and enter my information here again, and then my website as well. With that done, I'm going to go down and click on Next. The first thing you'll be asked for is your campaign objective. Here, I would recommend going with Create a Campaign Without Guidance. This will keep you in control of the setup so Google doesn't auto-pick a bunch of settings for you. So I'll click on Create a Campaign Without Guidance, and then you can choose your campaign type. In most cases, you're going to go with a search campaign. So I'll click on this here. And then here you'll have to select the results that you want to get from the campaign, whether that's website visits or phone calls. I'll go with website visits, but you'll want to choose the result that matches your goals the best. Okay, next we'll need to choose our goal. So if I scroll down here, you're going to see a few different example goals. You want to pick a goal here that matches what you want to get out of your campaign. So for example, if you want someone to purchase a product on your website, you'd go with purchase. If you want someone to sign up for like a newsletter, you could go for sign up. But in my case, for my website, I'm going to go with form submissions. So I'm going to click on this one here. Then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here and give my campaign a name. I'll name this Example Tutorial Campaign. Here at the bottom, you'll also see an option for enhanced conversions. I'm just going to leave this turned on. With that done, let's go to the bottom right and click on Agree and Continue. Okay, and here we can get into our bidding settings. This is one of the most important parts of this entire setup because this is where you can accidentally overspend if you just accept whatever Google suggests. For a brand new campaign, I recommend starting with maximize clicks. By default, it's set to conversions, so I'm going to change this to clicks. This is one of the most simple campaign types that we can use, and it also helps us start getting traffic right away so we can use that data to improve our campaigns further. And then under this, let's set a maximum cost per click bid limit. So we'll tick this on here. For this setting, just enter the most you'd be comfortable paying for one click. I'm setting it to $10 for now, not because I expect to pay that much, but just to give Google a limit so it doesn't go too high when we're getting started. When you're new, you usually won't know exactly what a realistic cost per click looks like yet, so just pick a number you're comfortable with. If $10 feels too high, you can set it lower, and later on as you learn your niche and your keywords better, you can always adjust it. So now that we've set our bid limit, let's quickly talk about how Google Ads bidding actually works. So Google Ads works kind of like an auction, but it's not just about who bids the most. Google also cares about how relevant and helpful your ad is. Your position is based on two things working together: what you're willing to pay and your ad quality. So even if someone bids more than you can still show above them in the search results if your ad is more relevant and higher quality. And this also affects what you pay. When your quality is stronger, your clicks usually get more efficient. That means you're often not paying your full max bid, and higher quality can help you spend less for the same traffic while cutting down on wasted spend. Here's what you want to focus on. Make sure your ad clearly matches what someone searched for. Write it in a way that gives them a real reason to click, and then send them to a landing page that delivers exactly what the ad promised. So with that said, we set our maximum cost per click bid limit to $10, but with a high quality ad, we may end up spending significantly less for this. So now that we understand that and we've set everything up here, let's scroll down and we'll leave only bid for new customers turned off. So I'll go to the bottom right here and click on Next. Okay, now we're in our campaign settings. The first thing that I recommend you do is turn off the networks. Let's go ahead and deselect both of these. From my experience, leaving these turned on can end up skewing a lot of the data you get from your ads, and it burns through a ton of money. So just leave both of these turned off for any campaign that you create. Next, let's scroll down to the location. You're most likely not wanting to serve your ad across the entire world, or across the entirety of the US and Canada, or even the entire United States. Most likely you're going to want to enter another location. So let's click on this here. And then we can search for the location that we want to show our ad in. So I'll click on this here. And then I'm going to type in, for example, Austin, Texas. So I'll see Austin appear here. And I'm going to click on Include. And if you want to get super specific with where you're showing your ads, go down and click on Advanced Search. As you can see on the right-hand side, I have a map showing me where my ad is going to be served. And right now, Austin, Texas has a reach of 8.2 million people. And whenever I added in this location, it doesn't actually show just Austin. It's stretching all the way out here to the west, including Fredericksburg, Marble Falls, Mason, and another town called Harper. So I'm actually going to fix this here. I'm going to remove Austin, Texas, and I'm going to switch it from location to radius. And now let's say I only want to serve within 20 miles of Austin. So I'll type in Austin again, click on Include, and it's going to tighten up that search radius. And now let's say, for example, I want to exclude an area. Let's say I don't actually service in the Buda area. What I'll do is go back over to location, then I'm going to type in Buda, and click on Exclude. And now it's going to exclude this area specifically, and people here will not be able to see my ads. For your business, just choose whatever is realistic. The main idea is don't add a bunch of random locations. You want to keep this tight and accurate so your budget goes towards the right people. So I'm going to click on Save. Then let's scroll down and find the location options. By default, this may be set to presence or interest. You'll want to make sure it's set to presence. This will make it to where your ad is shown to people who actually live in the areas that you service. Now let's scroll down to languages. Automatically, it's going to select your default language, which for me is English. If you want to add in more languages, you can do so here. Next, choose if this is an EU political ad. For me, it is not, so I'm going to click on No. Then I'll go down to the bottom right and click on Next. And on this screen here, you may see an option to turn on AI Max. I would highly recommend to turn this off. If it's turned on for you, go ahead and click on it. Then click on Turn Off. Now let's scroll to the bottom here and click on Next. And after that, you'll be brought into the keyword and asset generation screen. In just a moment, we're going to learn about the best way to do keyword research for your campaign. But before we do that, let's take a quick moment to hear from the sponsor of this video, Hostinger. If you're setting up Google Ads, there's a good chance you're sending people to your website. And the truth is, you could have a great campaign, but if your site is slow, messy, or confusing on mobile, you're going to pay for clicks that never turn into leads or sales. And that's why this video is sponsored by Hostinger. I personally use Hostinger myself, and I genuinely like it because it makes building a website super simple. You can build a site with WordPress or use Hostinger's AI website builder. With the builder, you just enter a prompt about your business and it generates a professional looking website for you in minutes with no coding. That means you can get a clean landing page up fast, which means your ads have somewhere solid to send traffic and you waste less budget while you're trying to get conversions. Hostinger is also super affordable. Their plans start at under $3 per month, and you can grab a domain, set up hosting, and publish everything in one place. To get the best available deal, sign up for Hostinger using the first link in the video description. That link automatically applies our exclusive discount, giving you an extra 10% off any plan. Big thanks to Hostinger for sponsoring this video and for giving our viewers this exclusive deal. Now let's keep building your campaign. Okay, now we're back here on the keyword and asset generation screen. Google will offer to generate keywords and ad copy if you paste in your URL here and then describe your products or services. This could be helpful as a starting point, but I don't recommend relying on it because it's not real keyword research and it doesn't teach you why you're targeting what you're targeting. So I'm going to scroll down and click on Skip. All right, so now you're going to be on the ad group screen. This is where you would normally create your first ad group and start adding in your keywords. But before we do that, we need to quickly do some keyword research so we actually know what we should be targeting. So now I have 3 new tabs open at the top here. This first one is a simple spreadsheet where we'll collect some keyword ideas. And the second one is a Google search. We're going to use this to see what real people are typing and what other companies are doing with their ads. And the third one here is Keyword Planner. This is inside Google Ads, and I'll show you how to get here in just a few moments. So for now, let's go back to our spreadsheet. For this tutorial, I'm using a cleaning company as the example, but the process is going to be the exact same no matter what business you're in. The goal is just to find keywords that match what your customer is searching for. And also, here's a quick reminder from earlier about ad groups. Each ad group that we create should focus on one service or one theme, so that way the keywords in the ad copy match very closely. For cleaning, that might be house cleaning, deep cleaning, move-out cleaning, and so on. If you offer totally different services, those should be in separate ad groups. So for example, right now I'm about to create an ad group for house cleaning. But if I offered something else like yard maintenance, then I would want to create a totally separate ad group for that service. All right, so for now I'm going to keep it simple with one general theme for this ad group. And that's going to be house cleaning in Austin, Texas. And then under that, I'm going to start filling out my keywords. For now, I'll just go with cleaning company, Austin, Texas. And now that I have my first keyword here, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go over to a Google search. Then I'm going to paste this in right here. Now let's search this and see what other companies are doing. Let's start by taking a look at the two sponsored results here at the top. As for what they're saying here, they have 22 years in business. It says that they serve Austin. They offer free estimates and discounts as well. And I also see buttons here on the right side for getting a quote, booking an appointment, and getting their phone number. So now we're already seeing some really good information here for what we should include in our ad. So I'd recommend writing everything down that you find important from your research for your company. Now let's scroll down to the sponsored results here. Here I see that we have maid cleaning services in Austin, Texas, house cleaning services in Austin, Texas, house cleaning company. So I'm going to go ahead and start writing some of this stuff down. I'm going to switch back over to my spreadsheet. And I'm going to type in house cleaning services, Austin, Texas. Then I'll do maid cleaning services, Austin, Texas. I'm also going to do cleaning company near me, house cleaning near me, maid cleaning near me. And if I go back over to my Google search here, I also see that everybody's offering free estimates. So that seems to be really important for when people are searching. So I'm going to add that in as well. I'll do house cleaning free estimate. So now you can keep going down the page here and scrolling through and doing more and more research and then adding into your keywords for each of your ad groups. For now, I think the keywords that I have here are pretty good, so we'll go ahead and continue with these. All right, now that I have my keywords, I'm going to jump over to the Google Ads Keyword Planner. To get access to this, just open up a new tab and go back to your Google Ads dashboard. And then from here, go into Tools, and then click on Keyword Planner. Then click on Discover New Keywords. And let's start typing in some of the keywords from our spreadsheet. So I'll start with cleaning company, Austin, Texas, house cleaning services near me, maid cleaning services, Austin, Texas. And you can continue to add in all of your keywords here. So now I'm going to scroll down and click on Get Results. Awesome. And after that, it's going to give you a bunch of important information about your keywords. Right here, you can see each of the keywords we typed in, the average monthly searches for each of the keywords, the competition for these, and also very importantly here, we have the low end of the bid range and the high end. These keyword planner numbers are just here to give us a rough idea of how expensive these keywords are. So don't think of this as the exact amount that you're going to pay. It's just more of a general price range. Another thing that's really good about this is that Google is also going to give us a bunch of new keyword ideas, along with all of the information for each of these. What I like to do with this is go to the top right and click on the download button, and then click on Google Sheets, and I'm going to download this. Then I'm going to click on Open Sheet. And then I'll be able to save and have all of the information here. So I can go through all of these keywords, check out the monthly searches, the competition, and also the bid range as well. And then I can go back into my spreadsheet and start copying and pasting all of the keywords that I actually want to use. So with that done, you now know exactly how to do keyword research for your business to find the keywords you should be targeting within your ad groups. So now that I know the keywords that I want to use within my ad group, I'm going to go ahead and close out of these tabs. I'll close out of this one here, my Google search, but I'm going to keep the keyword research tab open because in a moment, I'm going to copy and paste these keywords into my ad group. So I'll keep this tab open for now. Now I'm going to go back up to my Google Ads tab here at the top, and let's continue creating our first ad group. Let's start by giving it a name here at the top. I'll name this one House Cleaning. And again, here you can get your keyword suggestions if you want to, but we just did keyword research, so we're going to skip that. Now here's where we enter in our keywords. All right, so there are 3 different types of keywords that you need to know about. You have broad, phrase, and exact. Broad match is the loosest option. It can show your ad for searches that are related to the meaning of your keyword, even if the person doesn't type the exact words that you chose. Broad match can work a little bit later on once you have more data and tighter controls, but for most beginners, it expands way too quickly and it will pull in a lot of low quality traffic. So I don't recommend using broad match. Phrase match is usually the best place to start for beginners. It gives you way more control than broad keywords, but it's not so strict that you barely get any traffic. You'll still reach people searching for what you offer, but you'll cut out a lot of the random, unrelated searches that broad match can pull in. Exact match is the most controlled option, but here's the key thing to understand with this. Exact doesn't mean word for word identical. Google will still look at intent, so it may show your ad for close variations that mean the same thing. So it is controlled, but it's not perfect. In this tutorial for my keywords, I'm just going to use phrase match. That's going to give us plenty of control, and it's going to keep the campaign clean, and it still lets us collect enough data to make smart improvements later on. So I'm going to go back over to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to copy all of the keywords that I want to use. Then I'll go back to my ad group, and I'm going to paste them in here. And then at the bottom here, you're going to see how you select what kind of match you want for each keyword. So in order to make a keyword phrase match, you have to put it in quotes. And if you want an exact match, you'll have to put your keyword in brackets. And if you want a broad match, you just type in the keyword with nothing added. So I'm going to go to each of my keywords here and put them in quotes, just like this. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added all of my keywords and put them in quotes here. And if you're wondering how many keywords you should put in for your ad group, there's no need to go absolutely crazy and add in thousands of different keywords. I would recommend at first keeping this list small and experimenting and changing them out to see which ones actually work best for your business. So I'm happy with this here, so I'm going to continue to scroll down the page. Starting at the top, we have your final URL. This is simply the page someone lands on after they click on your ad. You want this to be as relevant as possible to what you're advertising. So if your goal is to get someone to book an appointment, you want to send them to your booking page. If you're promoting a specific service, send them to that exact service page. And if you're selling a product, send them directly to the product page. The more the page matches what they searched, the better your results are going to be. Next is the display path. This doesn't change where people go, it just changes the URL text here within the ad. You can customize this to make the ad look a little bit cleaner, but I think for my specific ad, I like how it's just my domain name here. Next, I'm going to scroll down to headlines. This is where your earlier research comes in. You can think of headlines as short, high-impact phrases that match what someone is searching for and gives them a reason to click. So I'm going to add mine in here for a cleaning company. I'll start with house cleaning, maid cleaning, house cleaning services, and then I'll add in some extra ones here, like free estimate, serving Austin. Then I'll do book online. And then if I scroll up to the top here on the right-hand side, you'll see here that Google is going to rotate and mix different headlines that you create to find combinations that perform the best. After that, we're going to add in our descriptions. These are just slightly longer sentences that explain what you do and what someone should do next. If you need help coming up with this, again, just go ahead and open up a new tab. Let's type in house cleaning services, Austin, Texas. And I can see the descriptions that other companies have created for their ads here. This one says affordable, top-rated maid services available 7 days a week and next day appointments. This one says message deep cleaning experts and get fast, affordable estimates. So depending on your business, just do some more research. You can add these descriptions into your spreadsheet if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and create mine here. So I'll paste in my first description here, and then I'll paste in another description right here. You can add up to 4 descriptions, so if you want more, go ahead and add them here. And then after you add these in, you can scroll back up and see how they look with your ad here at the top. I think I'm happy with my headlines and my descriptions that I've added. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. And if you want to, you can start adding in site links as well. So I'll edit out this one here. And I'm going to change the text from shop products to book your appointment. And I can change the URL from shop to booking. Then click on create. It looks like I have 2 contact us pages, so I'm going to delete this. And then you should see that site link appear within your ad right here. And the first one is book your appointment, which is good. All right, now with all that done, I think we're ready to move on to the next step. So scroll to the bottom and click on save. And then here you'll get a preview of everything you filled out for this ad group. Once you're happy with it, let's go down and click on next. And here you need to set your daily budget. Google is automatically going to recommend you an average daily budget. You can go with this if you want to. It's going to break down what you can expect here. It says 276 weekly clicks, an average cost per click of $1.55, and a weekly cost of $426. For me, I'm going to go down and click on Set Custom Budget. And for my cleaning services, I think I'm okay with spending $100 a day for my budget. The key for this is that your budget just has to make sense for your business and your numbers. If you set this too low, you may barely get any traffic, which means you won't collect enough data to learn what's working. But you also don't want to spend blindly. A simple way to think about it is this. If one booked cleaning job for me is worth around $200, then spending less than that to get a lead or booking is what I'm aiming to do. You're not going to get this perfect on day one, but you need enough budget to actually test things. And here, once again, you're going to see your weekly clicks, your average cost per click, and your weekly cost. It's totally fine to start at less than $100 per day. Just make sure it makes sense for your business and your keywords. With that done, let's go down and click on next. All right, so now our campaign is created, but the ad is still being reviewed, so it's not going to run immediately. So now the next thing we're going to do is set up conversion tracking. That way Google can actually measure leads properly. So if I scroll down here, you're going to see the option to install a Google tag either with WordPress or manually. We're going to click on Install Manually. And then you're going to find your Google tag here. What we need to do is click on the copy button here, and we need to paste it into the head section of our website. So that way it's able to load site-wide. So with this copied, I'm going to go to my WordPress dashboard. Now, if you built your website with something other than WordPress, this process is going to be slightly different. But if you are using WordPress, this is how I'd recommend that you do it. Look for a plugin called WP Code. It's going to look like this right here. And then install and activate this. After you do that, you're going to see code snippets here on the left-hand side. Highlight over this and click into header and footer. Go ahead and find the head section here, and then just paste in that tag. Once you do that, go to the top right, click on Save Changes. And now the Google tag is installed site-wide. Now I'm going to go back over to Google Ads. Then I'm going to scroll down and click on Test Installation. So in my case, since I'm using a test domain and a test website, this isn't actually going to connect properly to my website. But in your case, this should be successful. If you are running into issues with your Google tag installation, first, make sure that your domain is configured properly. And second, make sure you clear the cache after making changes to the head section of your website. And also, it may just take a few minutes for everything to sync up properly. So for me, I'm going to click on Email Instructions. So I'll be able to come back to this a little bit later on. From here, I'll click on I'll do this later. And I'll click on it again here. All right, so after that, you're going to be brought to the campaign overview screen. And right here, you'll see your campaign is currently set to enabled. However, I do want to pause this for a moment while we finish setting up conversion tracking. That way, we're not paying for clicks before Google can actually measure our leads. So I'm going to change this from enabled to paused. Now on the left-hand side, let's click on Goals. Then I'm going to scroll down to Create Conversion Action. This is one of the most important parts of this entire setup, because if you skip this, Google has no idea what a lead is for your business. And so you just end up paying for clicks with no real measurement behind it. Now we're going to create 3 conversion actions so Google can track the main ways that someone becomes a lead. The first one we'll create is calls from your website. This is when someone clicks your phone number on your site. The second one we'll create is calls from your ads. This is when someone taps the call button directly on the ad. And the third one we'll create is a website form or booking submission. This is when someone submits your form and reaches a thank you page. We're creating these 3 because they cover the most common lead paths for most businesses, and it gives Google clean data to optimize around. So with that said, let's go ahead and create our first conversion action. So click on Create Conversion Action. And the first thing we'll do is create a conversion action for phone calls. So I'll click on this here. And then from here, click on Create Conversion. And then I'm going to choose Calls from Website Visits. Then click on Someone Calls a Number Shown on My Website. And then from here, you're going to want to enter your business phone number. I'll just use this example number here for now. But you want to make sure that this is your primary business phone number that appears on your website. So from here, click on Use This Event. Then go down and click on Save and Continue. All right, so now we've created the conversion action. Let's scroll down here. And if you haven't set up your Google tag yet, you're going to see this appear right here. But if you did that earlier, this should be good to go. Now, the next thing we need to do is find the event snippet. So click on See Event Snippet. Then you're going to copy this. And then you're going to go back over to your WordPress dashboard or wherever you enter custom code for your website. And then right underneath the Google tag, we're going to paste in this event snippet. So just paste that in right underneath what we did before. Then click on Save Changes. Then I'll go back over to my Google Ads, close out of this. And there we go. We've added this event snippet for phone call leads to our website. Okay, now here, let's scroll down and click on Finish. Okay, next, let's scroll back down here and click on Create Conversion Action again. The next thing we're going to do is set up a conversion action for calls from ad extensions. That means we're tracking whenever somebody calls us from our ad directly. So go down and click on Phone Call Lead again. Click on Create Conversion. Click on Calls from Ads. You can see here it says when someone clicks a call ad or a call asset. From there, go down and click on Save and Continue. So now we're tracking 2 different conversion actions. So now you'll be able to tell which calls came from your website and which calls came directly from the ad. So with that created, let's go down and click on Finish. All right, so now that we've tracked phone calls, the next thing we need to do is track website leads, like a contact form or booking request. The problem is Google can't automatically tell when someone fills out a form on your website, so we have to give it a clear signal. And the clearest signal that we can usually give is a thank you page. A thank you page is just a confirmation page someone only sees after they submit your form. For example, that would be something like yourwebsite.com/thank-you or yourwebsite.com/booking confirmed. And the reason this works is simple. If someone lands on that page, we know that they must have completed the form, and that's a real lead. So the first step here is on your website. You want to make sure that your form redirects to a thank you page after submission, and then you want to copy that link. And now the second step is to set up conversion tracking for that thank you page. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's scroll back down to the bottom here and click on Create Conversion Action. And from here, scroll down and click on Submit Lead Form. And then here, click on Create Conversion. Go ahead and select your website. Then click on Automatically Without Code. For event type, make sure it's set to page load. Then change this from URL starts with to URL contains. Now for the URL here, go ahead and type whatever the confirmation page for your website is. So for me, that's going to be thank-you. Now, if yours ends in confirmation or booking confirmed, you're going to put that here. This is something that you set up on your own website. So go ahead and double check and make sure that you have the correct confirmation page URL here. Now let's scroll down and click on Done. then click on Save and Continue. And there we go. You've now set up 3 conversion actions. You have phone calls from your website, phone calls from your ads, and conversion tracking from your website itself. All right, now from here, let's scroll down and click on Finish. Okay, now from here, let's go back to our campaigns. On the left-hand side, click on Campaigns. And then here, click into Campaigns. Now I'm going to go down and click on Ad Groups. Now within Ad Groups, I'm going to go down and find the ad group that I just created here. If you want to create a new ad group, you can do that by clicking on the blue button here. Like I said before, you do this if you're creating ad groups for different services or different goals. Now let's go down to Assets. We'll click into it here on the left. Click into Assets. And then here you're going to see a big list of different assets that you can add in. For example, you could add in your business name and business logo. You can add in additional site links, headlines, and descriptions. You also have callouts and structured snippets. And here you're able to add in a call asset so people can call you directly from your ad. And if you have a Google business profile, you can connect a location asset. This is going to help your ad show up with location info and support map visibility. So go through here and add in the assets that you want for your ad. Okay, now from here, let's go back to the left-hand side and click into Audiences, Keywords, and Content. Then go ahead and click on Keywords. And if I go down here, we can see all of the keywords that we have for this campaign. You can click on the blue button here to add in more keywords. And you're also able to change the match type here if you want to as well. And one really important thing I want to show you here is the negative keywords. You'll see that here at the top. Click into negative keywords. And this is one of the fastest ways to stop wasting money on your campaigns. Negative keywords are simply words or phrases that tell Google, do not show my ad if the search includes this. So for a cleaning company, there are obvious ones that we want to filter out. For example, we don't want people looking for jobs or careers. So we'd add negatives like jobs, hiring, careers, or salary. We also don't want DIY searches like how-to, tutorial, or DIY, because those people aren't trying to hire someone. And this idea applies to any business. So for example, here I'll click on negative keywords. Then I'll scroll down. And here I'm going to type in salary, DIY, tutorial, career, and how-to. So these are just a few examples here. And the best part is that you don't have to guess everything up front. You can add in more negative keywords over time by checking your search terms. If you notice your ads are showing for junk searches consistently, you want to add those words as negatives so you stop paying for that traffic. Now I'm going to scroll down here and click on Save. So I've added in my first batch of negative keywords here. Once your campaign starts running, keep an eye on your search terms and make sure that you keep adding in negative keywords as they appear. Okay, with that done, let's go ahead and launch our campaign. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here and click into Campaigns. And I'm going to switch it from paused to enabled. And then I'm also going to click into my ad groups here. And I'm going to make sure that those are enabled as well. And the last thing we'll check is our actual ad. So over here underneath ad groups, click into ads. And then I'm going to scroll down here and you can actually see the ad we created right here. If you want to preview it, you can click on preview ads. You can see which ad group it's a part of, if it's eligible to run, and some other info over here as well. You can always create new ads by clicking on the blue plus button right here. Okay, so now that you've launched your campaign, what do you do next? Well, you can see everything here and look at all of your statistics within your overview panel. You can see your clicks and impressions. Your average cost per click will appear here. You can also adjust your budget quickly here if you need to as well. And the next thing you should do after you start getting some results from your campaign, go to Insights and Reports. Click in here, then click into Search Terms. This report here is going to show you the exact searches people typed in before they saw your ad. I recommend opening this a couple times per week, especially in the beginning. And if you see anything here that has no chance of becoming a customer, you want to add it as a negative keyword immediately. This one habit alone can save you a lot of money. Now, one last thing I want to show you, go up to the top here and find recommendations. Click into it here. In this tab right here, this is where Google will push suggestions for you. Some of these can be helpful later on, but as a beginner, don't just randomly and blindly apply all of these recommendations. This could end up wasting you a lot of money if you apply every single recommendation that Google gives you. And if you see an option here for auto apply, make sure that's turned off. And then lastly, on the left-hand side, go to Tools, go to Planning, and click on Keyword Planner. I'd recommend jumping back into the Keyword Planner as well every few days and discovering new keywords and expanding to find the best keywords for your business. And then from here, it's just about making small improvements over time based on real data. Keep things simple, stay consistent, and you're going to be in a great spot. If you run into any problems or you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below. I try to respond to as many as I can. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helped you out. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.